This edition of MacVoices is brought to you by SupportYourApp. SupportYourApp specializes in supporting Mac and iOS apps since 2011. When your app gets featured in the App Store, SupportYourApp will help you deal with the avalanche of customer feedback, will help you build your support processes faster, and will save your developers time to focus on the product. Learn more at SupportYourApp.com. Hi, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices at AltConf and WWDC in San Jose. Folks, Virgil Security is one of the sponsors of AltConf, and I have Rebecca here to tell us what Virgil Security offers to developers. Rebecca, it's nice to see you.
Nice to be here. Thanks so much.
Thank you for talking to us. So what is Virgil Security?
Right. Virgil Security provides open source SDKs so developers can add end-to-end encryption to their products easily.
Okay, that sounds nice and simple. How easy is it to implement your SDKs?
Right. Well, you can get an end-to-end encrypted chat app up and running in 10 minutes. We think that end-to-end encryption is super important. It's been one of the highlights of WWDC this year. End-to-end encryption, security, ways to build privacy into your products. But most developers don't know how to do that. We make it easy for them. We're their guide through the world of encryption, security, and privacy. And our SDKs make that super easy. We just launched our Firebase SDK this week, actually, and we're really excited about the other SDKs and frameworks that are becoming more and more popular, and we're here to make things easy for developers and meet them where they are.
Meet them where they are. Yeah, they're all over the place here. So this security, privacy, this is such an important thing. It's such a hot topic right now that we hear everybody talking about it. And I think we're at a point now where just about every developer, no matter what they're developing, has to have some focus on this, or they're going to have a complete loss of credibility.
Completely, totally agree. And what we've seen traditionally is security is something that's very challenging and difficult to implement, and so it's an afterthought for people. Developers build their products, and then they think as they're about to ship it, as they're about to send it out the door, oh, I need some sort of security or privacy. And that's not the way to do it, because it never works that way. So what we're seeing instead is companies like WhatsApp building security into their products as a feature, not an afterthought. And that's what we help companies and developers do.
Now you said online chat or a live chat. Is that for support purposes only, or can it be part of the app experience? I mean, why would I want to put Virgil Security and use that live chat solution in my app?
Right. So chat is one of the most basic and easy implementations for end-to-end encryption. But really, end-to-end encryption can mean encrypting data that's traveling between any two sources. It can mean a chat app like WhatsApp or Signal or Telegram. It could be customer support when you're dealing with personal information, financial information, healthcare. A lot of companies use end-to-end encryption right now for HIPAA compliance, GDPR compliance, FERPA, anything that is dealing with sensitive information that you don't want breached out or you have heavy regulatory concerns about.
Makes sense. So this can handle any of those options. It just depends on what my purpose is for the chat.
Exactly.
So what kind of pricing do we have here for this? How do you do it by month, or is it a subscription kind of thing, or how does that work?
It's by month. So we have a free tier that starts, you can get started, test it out, see how it works within your product, and then once you hit to 500 users, then it starts at $100 a month.
Okay, so it scales depending on the number of users. Is that users as in how many apps I've deployed, or users as in how many are actively using it at a given time?
It's a total number of users and users. So we call them cards, and it's really because we're using public-private keys. We look at how many keys you have generated in your app. So how many private keys are out there in your app, in your environment?
Okay, so I am not a developer, so this may be a naive question. So if I sell 10,000 copies of my app, that doesn't necessarily mean that I've got 10,000 keys generated, does it?
Yes, it does.
It does, okay.
Yes. So because you have 10,000 apps, 10,000 users, each of those users has their own private key, and that's what keeps things very secure. So if user A wants to send something to user B, That means that they look up the public key in the Virgil cloud service. On the client side, the message is encrypted by user A. It travels through your whole stack, through the server, telco, ISP, everything. Ends up at user B. User B uses their private key to decrypt it. And nobody else can see the message. It's all gibberish and encrypted through the whole process. And that's what keeps the developers' hands clean, the company's hands clean, because they can't see the data, and therefore if their company is breached or hacked, that data is worthless.
And the only person or entity holding the keys is Virgil.
We don't hold the private key.
You don't hold the private key.
Only the end user holds the private key. So they have complete ownership of their data, and there's no backdoor. The company doesn't have a backdoor. Virgil doesn't have a backdoor. It's a zero trust environment. So nobody has to trust us. Nobody has to trust the company. The end user has all the control.
Got it. Makes sense. Okay. Where do we send folks to learn more and maybe sign up and implement it in their apps?
Yeah, we'd love for developers to check out our code. It's all open source, like I said. So visit virgilsecurity.com. We have some sample apps out there for Firebase, Twilio, and lots of other languages. You can get started, see how it works, and see if it works for you. And let us know if you have any questions on Slack. We have a very active community on Slack, and that link is on virgilsecurity.com as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the time, and thanks for being here at AltConf.
Yeah, thanks so much, and I hope everyone's having a great time. We're very happy to sponsor.
I think we all are having a great time. We're slowing down a little, but we're having a great time.
Everyone's just ready for the next happy hour.
Yeah, exactly. Folks, more from AltConf and WWDC in San Jose. Sorry, it's been a long week. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our MacVoices Facebook group and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices magazine, free on Flipboard. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us at patreon.com/MacVoices and join these folks who help keep MacVoices coming to you. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.